Hi, it's April Beyer, and welcome to this week's Ask April.
April Beyer. She is the best of the best.
Yes, you have to update your list. In fact, get rid of lists altogether. If you're constantly blaming the other person, you're never really going to get out of that negative emotion.
Traditions are traditions because they work.
Today's question comes from Jamie, and Jamie writes, I was set up with a man through a colleague of mine. We met once briefly and then had one date. Great guy, interesting conversation. He was kind and polite. The only problem is that there was zero chemistry on my part. He has since asked me out again, but I feel guilty going out again to yet another expensive evening when I know it isn't going to go anywhere. My question is, how do you gently tell someone you don't wish to see them again? My experience with the male ego is that they'd rather hear that I'm dating someone else rather than there just isn't the romantic connection. Well, thank you so much for this question, Jamie. I think we have all been on both sides of the equation on this one. Chemistry isn't always that evident for us girls on a first date. So if you have a nice time with someone, but he's just not your type, I highly recommend that you try at least 2 to 3 dates just to be sure. Because I can't tell you how many women have ended up falling in love with my clients because I encouraged them to have one more date and to stay open. But if you've really tried and it's just not there, here are a few things you can do to let a man down gently. Number 1, call him back if he calls to ask you out again. I know it's hard to hurt someone's feelings, so what do? You avoid a man, you opt to not call, or you just pretend like you don't hear the phone ringing. Ring, ring. What ring? I don't hear a ring. I don't hear phone ringing. What? Behave the way you'd like to be treated when you are on the other side of the chemistry wall. You always want to walk with your head held high, knowing that you've done the right thing and you're living a life of integrity. Number 2, compliment him. No, I don't mean be fake. I mean, if you liked anything about a man that you've been on a date with, tell him this first. It's going to sound something like this. Bob, I really enjoyed my night with you. I find you to be so interesting, and I really appreciated how kind and considerate you were. I am still laughing about that story that you told about the waiter. You have a great sense of humor, and you know what? I really needed to smile that night. Thank you so much for a great evening, etc., etc. Now, you aren't saying this in the same sentence of letting him down. You're simply stating facts. You are complimenting. You're thanking him for the date. It's that simple. Think about it like this. When you take a friend or colleague out to dinner, don't you appreciate a little thank you the next day, a phone call? Of course you do. Dating does not mean that you toss your manners out the window. Now, if a man asks you to go Dutch, no need for this kind of follow-up, but please just use your best judgment. Number 3, be honest. Yes, telling a man that you weren't attracted to him is definitely a tough thing to do. So, how can you be honest and gentle at the same time? You can do this by including you in the equation. Instead of telling him, I just don't have the chemistry with you, or I wasn't attracted, you can say something like this. I think you are so awesome. I just don't think that we have that long-term chemistry that I know we're both looking for. Do you hear the difference? You're bringing both of you into the equation. After all, you were both there. And it's true, isn't it? If you don't feel the connection, how could it possibly be right for him either? Because you aren't doing anybody any favors by forcing yourself to continue to go out on dates when you're not interested. You're simply being direct with him because you like and respect him and you want him to find what he's looking for. The moral of the story here is treat others how you'd like to be treated. You know, you want men to be honest with you and not keep you guessing, right? So just be sure you put out that same kind of energy and respect that you'd like to be given to you. And when in doubt, honesty is always, always the best policy. Yes, even when it's difficult. Jamie, this was a fantastic question. Thank you so much. I know it helped a lot of women. I would love to hear your ideas of how you've been able to gently let a man down, so please post those right below this video, along with any comments that you have. If you enjoyed this and you learned something new, like it, share it with your friends, wherever you like to connect. I would appreciate it, and you just might be helping somebody else out as well. I'm going to be back next week with another Ask April. If you're just catching this and you don't want to miss out on any of my advice segments, or you'd like me to answer a question for you, come on by and visit me at aprilbeyer.com and get on the list. Each week, you're going to have a hot dating and relationship topic of the week waiting for you in your inbox. Thank you so much for watching. As always, I'm going to wish you new beginnings and lasting relationships. I'll see you next time.